Today on The Social. Shay Mitchell's new skincare brand made just for kids is receiving mixed reactions. Do children need skincare? And is crossing the floor ever okay? We react to Conservative MP Chris D'Entremont's move to join the Liberals. Then, what the hey? Royal Ambassador Rosie the Miniature Donkey gives us all the exciting details about what to expect at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. Plus, beloved Newfoundlander Alan Doyle tells us why he won't ever leave the island, where the best fish and chips are found, and other insider tips from his new book. It all starts now on The Social.
Wow. Oh my God, you know what? I think the time change is finally wearing off. Energy's back. We're back on track. Welcome. Thank you for that warm welcome and welcome to The Social. We'd like to welcome back to the panel the host of The Social's Momlife Crisis and the NSL on TSN, Kate McKenna as Harold. Yay! Okay, well, let's do this. Actress and entrepreneur Shay Mitchell, she is facing backlash after launching a skincare line for children. You can see she's got these cute little unicorn face masks for kids. It's all for kids ages 3 and up. 3, you heard it. 3 and up, but a lot of people are saying this is unnecessary and sends the wrong message. So, anybody here into this for the kids in your life?
No one.
So interesting, right? I immediately saw this headline and I got angry, and I think for all the same reasons that you did. But then I Googled, should kids have a skincare plan? And I was surprised when it said yes.
Really?
Now, granted, it is just simple things. It's gentle cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen. But I thought before puberty that wasn't even necessary. It was the face mask thing, though, that I haven't there's something about that it makes me feel like it's anti-aging. Immediately,
really?
I associate them with that.
For me, it felt like, I get that kids want to mimic their parents, right? We pretend stuff. That's why I had like those Popeye cigarettes, because my parents smoked.
Remember
and I
those?
pretended, right? And pretending to be an adult is what we do. But the face mask part is, it's not pretend. It's an actual face mask. Like, I would be fine if little kids were taking wet paper towels and putting them on their face. They're like, Mommy, I'm just like you, cutting out little holes. They're playing, they're pretending. It's like a baby doll. We all had baby dolls. We don't give kids real babies.
Does it matter to you at all, though, that this was designed for kids? Like, this is, it's not necessarily an adult face mask, even though the initial photo makes it look a bit adult, which I think sparked the rage. This is designed for children. It is Korean inspired, and they're the pros at face masks. If you're gonna use a face mask, Korean's the way to go. Now look, if you were just to see this image, their masks, they look like animals. So I think it was a bit of a marketing miss to lead with the image they did, which was an adult-looking face mask. Does it matter to you that this is designed for kids? And there are parents out there, Shay Mitchell said when she was looking into this, she had a lot of requests from consumers who said, just like you mentioned, they are interested in products for kids rather than putting their own moisturizer on children. Does it matter to you that this was designed with kids in mind?
Okay, let me start with the caveat. Shay Mitchell is a wonderful Canadian from Toronto. I think she's a lovely human. She has a partner who used to be my coworker, Matt Babel, on CB24 Breakfast. You may know him as Much Music VJ, Matt Babel. He's wonderful. They're probably wonderful
The lady
parents.
does protest too much.
So they are wonderful parents. Their kids look happy and healthy and cared for. I hate this so much.
And
I hate this
going back to
so
her
much.
question, is it precisely because it's marketed towards
To me,
kids?
I take one step back from this. My job as a parent for a daughter especially is to protect her childhood and let her be a kid as long as possible. This, to me, is the adultification of children younger and younger and younger. It's gonna come at them anyway, but the fact that you are actively marketing to them means that A, you're trying to turn a child into a consumer by the age of 3. That's a problem to me. And number 2 is I don't know who said it is necessary. My daughter has a cheap bar of soap. She washes her face and she wears sunscreen. I hope that's what she does until at least puberty.
But has the train already left the station? Like in terms of marketing towards kids? Like think about it, like even like little things in the grocery store are marketed towards kids. Toys and stuff are marketed towards kids.
Lots of age
and then you add,
you're right.
Yeah, it's
and that's the
appropriate.
difference.
Well,
Maybe,
I mean, you could make the argument that some kids' cereals are not also very good for them and not maybe age appropriate. But anyway, I think what the other element is that we can't ignore is the social media element. The fact that kids are being marketed to in a different way that didn't exist 10 years ago. And so I have, like, my friend's daughter came and was talking about this drunk elephant.
It's expensive
It's
stuff.
a very expensive.
We know it.
So obviously there were influencers who were specifically talking to kids who are around that age and influencing to them. And that to me is this piece that is like so dangerous because the ingredients in some of these things are very harmful. Now, I guess you could make the argument though that Shay was trying to make different ingredients, as you've mentioned. I don't know, I just think like, is there a piece of this that we're missing, like in the sense of like, when I was growing up, I never really saw my mom's skincare routine at all. There was like basically none. So
do you think that was for better or for worse?
I don't know, I was kind of left like I didn't know what was going on until like late into my teenage years.
Don't you think that's a good thing?
I guess so, maybe, but I wonder, like, I don't know, I just feel for the people who their kids are seeing this and they just think this is a fun way to get involved.
I have to say this, I had terrible skin going through puberty. Terrible skin. This is making kids look at something that they shouldn't even be thinking about at 3 years old, which is my skin. Who cares? Who cares about your skin at 3 years old? You should be playing in the mud and doing the opposite, which is getting very, very dirty.
I guess the problem is nowadays, most kids aren't playing in the mud. And I think about if this is an option for fun, I would rather my kid wear this face mask once in a while than be on a screen. And they're on screens a lot.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, sure, it's a good point, but are those the only 2 options? I think just because we can do something as parents, should we? Be a parent and decide that your child should be a child. That's my opinion.
Good combo.
Okay, we're gonna move on to this.
Love you, Shay.
So, would you go and see a movie without knowing what it is? Just surprised. Oh, people are into this.
Wow.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that Cineplex is launching surprise movie premieres starting next Monday. You can get an advanced screening of an unreleased film at a discount, but you don't find out what you're gonna watch until the movie starts. So the company is hoping the move is gonna get people back into seats as theaters have continued to struggle to return to pre-pandemic numbers. So do we think this is the move, or, you know, what will bring people back to the theater?
I am floored. I'm floored by this response because I feel like my time is so precious that the idea of committing to something random is just something that I can't do. But I think if you want to get people back to theaters, start throwing watch parties. Do you guys, like, think about sports games?
Yeah.
The way that they filled the Rogers Center when the Jays were in the World Series recently, people want to be part of something. Sports tickets are so expensive. So I think these theaters should be throwing...
together.
Yeah. Say it again?
We want to be together.
Correct. They want that collective effervescence of being together. So I think if theaters want to attract people, sports games and reality show finales.
Yeah.
But that's not, I love that as well, but it's not solving the question of sort of how do we get people back in the cinema to watch movies. So by that explanation, which I really like. It's kind of like we're saying we're giving up on the movie part, because how many of us really do watch movies? I think the majority of people are watching movies on their phones, on their tablets, and the people who are still going to the movie cinema with a great deal of frequency would rather die than watch a movie on their phone or their tablet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are fewer and fewer and fewer of them.
I mean, for me, I love going to the theater. I don't do it enough, but part of the reason was when I had a child, and I think this is true for many parents, is it's so much harder and it's so much more expensive. You have to think about the babysitter. Now there's no longer like the one that you can walk down the street, and in most communities. So you have to go to these other places and you know, go to these giant theaters. So my idea is this. I don't know if they're gonna like this idea, but to me, what I feel like these big Cineplex are like is a little bit like a cruise ship. And what a cruise ships have, they have childcare. And you have a place where you can drop off your kid. They already have the arcades in many of these places. You hire a few more people to look after them. You have a couple of different age clumps together. The parents are in the cinema watching the movie. If there's a problem with your kid, they can just text you and be like, come grab your annoying kid. But at least then, if you could bake that into the price, I think you would get parents out much more often. Isn't this a good idea? Come on.
You know what? You know what that reminds me of?
Except for the movie lovers who's like, turn off your phone.
Yeah, I get it.
But you know what that reminds me of? One of the last times I went to the movies was years ago, and it was one of those babies and mums screenings.
Oh, that's nice.
Melissa Leong and I took our 6-month-old to see Hustlers.
Oh!
By the way, great movie. It's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Something, Cynthia. That's a good idea.
Wow. Okay,
really
you better
good.
trademark that, Cynthia. You just said that on national television.
Yeah, that's fine. Take it.
Who's gonna take that idea? Okay, let's take a quick break, everybody. After the break, how would you feel if your member of parliament suddenly switched parties? Headline news in this country. We're going to dig into former Conservative MP Chris D'Entremont's decision to cross the floor and join the Liberal Party from the Conservatives. We'll be back after this.
A gene mutation lets some people function perfectly on 4 hours of sleep. How to know if you're one of the lucky few, tomorrow on The Social.
We'd love to hear from you online. So if you are online or if you're watching us and you want to get online, that is how you can get your opinions heard on this show. So a lot of mixed reaction in former Conservative MP Chris D'Entremont's riding after he crossed the floor and joined the Liberal Party, okay? This is all according to CTV News. The Nova Scotia MP says his decision to switch parties came down to 2 things: serving his constituents better and issues that he's having with Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's leadership. Okay, is crossing the floor ever okay?
Is anyone interested in another election in a month or so? Yeah, me neither. So the way that I understand this, if a couple more people cross the floor, they'll have the majority to pass the budget, and we won't have another election. So in this particular case, I'm like, 2 more people, please cross the floor. I don't want to vote again.
I mean, I get it from that perspective. I think what I really would like to know is actually how his constituents are feeling. Did he go around? Did he actually hear from them? Did they say the same thing? Because otherwise, like, people voted for a certain party. And so I can see how this would be really, really...
Like a betrayal.
Like a betrayal of some kind. You know what I mean?
I'm also interested in, did he talk to them? And I'm going to assume he did. I'd like to think the best of people, and that he assumed that what was best for his constituents promoted this move. And I actually wish this happened more often.
Yeah.
And because I think politics, we've fallen into parties more than issues. And he has said that the budget was one of the things that moved him in this direction, because he felt like the budget was going to help the people in his constituency. So for me, I wish this happened more. I think there are young voters coming up who much prefer people over parties. They're more likely to vote for independence. So I think this is courage of conviction, and I like the idea of doing this instead of just falling in line with the party whip and doing whatever the party says because you are a conservative.
Interesting.
You know,
Good point.
it's interesting because it goes back to Jess's point that the reason why, you know, the party whip, which is the person whose job it is to make sure that enough bums are in seats for votes, those roles actually become really important in a minority government. And the Liberals are in a minority government situation. You will actually, maybe, hopefully avoid elections if the party, I mean, our democracy, as this parliamentary situation that we have here, you need people to still align to party lines. Otherwise, you will constantly be facing confidence votes. There's going to constantly be, and I don't want an election. I don't think anybody wants an election. But should we rely on people crossing the floor to avoid the election? Obviously not. In this particular case, I just want to take a little sidestep. D'Entremont, depending on how you translate his last name, I translate it as between two mountains or between a rock and a hard place.
No way!
And
That is so cool!
He is in a rock and a hard place because half of his constituents that have been polled or talked to, at least by CTV News, are saying, this is great that he did this. There are the other half of his constituents who've been spoken to who say, this is a betrayal. And unfortunately, if you look at history, he is going to pay a price for doing
exactly
this.
it.
Don't you think that makes it more courageous when, in all likelihood, he's not going to get reelected?
Let's see. I mean, since the 70s, people who have crossed the floor this way usually don't get elected again.
Yeah.
Really?
So let's see what happens.
And people get really upset about this. I mean, I don't know if you remember back when Stephen Harper was prime minister, there was a Liberal named David Emerson who crossed the floor actually just days after winning Vancouver Kingsway. So people were so outraged. It actually triggered an ethics investigation.
Really?
Now, both he and Harper were cleared of that. But I think a lot of people, it's true, you end up ruining your own career. So it is courageous. I guess it's that question of like, though, like, is it okay if it's just simply the person who feels like their value system doesn't align any longer with the leader?
But that's
like,
the courageous part.
yeah.
Like, that's where it does feel like a scene out of a movie. He's being heroic. Do you know what I mean? But then, if I were one of the people who voted for him and I still felt represented by that party's leader, I'd be like, wait a second. I would feel really aggrieved.
Yeah. I also just love the pettiness of crossing the floor. Like, I know there's all the academic political stuff, but do you guys remember when Belinda Stronach in 2005 crossed? Think about the I was rereading it today. She was like a prominent conservative dating Peter MacKay, the deputy leader. By all accounts, she goes to his place for dinner. They have a nice dinner. Then she goes and sees Paul Martin, comes back, tells her boyfriend she's gonna cross the floor, does it the next day. He goes to his farm with the dog in mourning. Like, this is the stuff of Bravo.
True.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Bravo!
Oh, it's great. Well, let's move on because a husband wrote to Dear Prudence for advice on how to convince his wife that cleaning the kitchen is part of the cooking process. He says she won't clean as she goes and waits until morning to do it 50% of the time. So, should you always, Mel, wash dishes while cooking, or is that a later problem?
Okay, can we just stop? I don't want to talk about dishes just yet. I want to talk about this problematic husband.
Yes! Good face.
I imagine maybe he's a nice guy, but this is not a nice thing that he is saying, because he basically says he comes home, she's got the kitchen in disarray because she's trying to get dinner done, and then she leaves the mess to go put their children to bed, or gives them a bath first. Hopefully not with things.
Exactly.
What is he doing? Is he just standing there watching his wife sweat her tush off in the kitchen, taking care of the kids, going to bed, and he has the gall to say, why is the kitchen dirty?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't even care about the dishes. Get rid of him.
This guy's a dud.
Yeah.
The gall.
You're all looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm really good at cleaning up as I go. Some might even say I was gifted at it. I'm excellent at it. But I have to say, for the last little while, Simon's been out of work, so he's truly taken over in the kitchen. I come home, and much to your point, I come home to a homemade meal every single night. Is the kitchen, you know, as clean as it would be if I were making that meal? No. But I kid you not, I'm so grateful that I just come back in and sort of start loading up the dishwasher and smell how good it smells, wipe down a few counters, and we're fine.
Does it bug him that you're doing that as he's still cooking?
Yes. For him, he's like, I was getting to it, but I get a little funny in the kitchen still, even though I'm not cooking dinner. I just like to clean it up.
I want us to challenge this idea that, and I know, I saw the reaction in the audience, so I'm gonna say something that's gonna be unpopular, but like, just that you have to clean up everything before you go to bed.
Yep.
There have been many times in my life when, for example, when I'm having a dinner party, I hate it when the host gets up to clean, because then all of a sudden what happens automatically is all the women, generally speaking, also follow her into the kitchen, and then suddenly the whole night is disrupted. For me, I insist when I have a dinner party, no, we're leaving this all, we pile it up, and we deal with it in the morning. So I think we need to challenge this idea of it all having to be so perfect all the time exactly. Also, you're never gonna be able to be in a relationship with anyone who does anything differently. If you, like, don't, Jess, I'm looking at you a little bit.
I'm looking at
It's
you,
hard.
'cause you're
You gotta
so
somehow
right.
bend on some of these things.
But the answer, I think everyone is saying the same thing. The answer is
helping
men
together.
and women in the kitchen. Isn't that the answer?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't know what else to say.
Clip that. Just have it in our next promo. Keep it simple, stupid. That was great.
It's just math. It's just math. Up next, everybody, the brutally honest real estate listing that piqued interest all over the world. We're going to tell you about it. And what do you think after this? We're back, everybody. A fed-up homeowner in Sydney, Australia listed his condo for sale with a very candid description of the tensions among his feuding neighbors. For example, that was in there. He writes, for example, quote, "Every time you drive in, you're just getting death stares from everyone." That was in a real estate listing. What do we make of this? And also, how much legwork should you put into knowing about your neighbors, your neighborhood, before you buy?
I mean,
Good question, huh?
generally speaking, I'm here for brutal honesty. I would prefer that to the alternative. But when you're selling a house, you have a lot of money at stake. You can't afford to be brutally honest. Like, I think of a woman in my neighborhood who was selling her house. And I know for a fact she had a horrible relationship with her neighbors. They once called the cops on her. She put up tall trees along the periphery just to block their view in. But when she was selling the house, I said, "Are you gonna make any mention of the neighbors?" And she laughed and said, "Of course not. Why would I do that?"
Yeah.
But I get what she's saying, and I actually think the onus is on the person buying the house to do some investigating on their own. I once had someone come up to my house and say, "I'm thinking of buying a home on the street. Tell me about the neighborhood." And they ask very pointed questions. You know, what's the GO train going by? What does it sound like? What are the neighbors like? So I think if you're going to invest in a home, it's on you to explore.
Yeah.
Does it
really good
matter?
question.
I think you're right, but as we know, the real estate market, sometimes it's a seller's market, sometimes it's a buyer's market. Does that matter? Like, if there's 10 people bidding on one house, are you going to be honest? You could be, but if there's nobody buying, are you going to be honest?
I didn't do any investigating when it came to buying. I didn't. I was kind of naive, and I was just kind of like, we need to get into the market, and so we found a place that was, you know, like a relatively, at the time, a good price. This was like 20 years ago now. And if I had done any research, I would have discovered that there were a lot of very weird neighbors, like very, very sketchy, weird, nosy, like all of the kind of stereotypical things. But the thing is having been there so long, they're all gone. So, and now who's moved into their places are actually lovely people. The neighbors on both of our sides, across the street, they're all different. It's had a huge changeover. So I wonder if in some cases, it's actually bad to have too much information, because I would have missed out on a great opportunity. I know I would have. And I've learned to love so many things about that. So sometimes you have to remember, people move. People change, so I don't know. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
Well, I was just going to say, when you mentioned buyer's seller's market, when I moved to Hamilton and was able to get a house there, it was a seller's market. It was a feeding frenzy. 2021, we must have seen 50 houses, and we bid on 11 of them. And we did have criteria, but, you know, like I wanted to be able to bike to a GO station and be able to walk or bike to get groceries. So after that, we weren't even paying attention to neighborhoods, really. We're just like, can we afford this? Boom, boom, boom. We now bike by or drive through houses that we did bid on and didn't get, and we feel so grateful because by sheer luck, we hit the most beautiful neighborhood with the best neighbors. So, but that's just luck.
You didn't ask any questions.
Didn't know. Not in that neighborhood. We just, because they were going to accept our offer without overbidding. We were just like, yeah, okay, we're done.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you didn't come see my condo. This was going back to the early 2000s, and King West in Toronto is an area where it used to be really, really sketchy, and then it gentrified quickly, and then there were condo projects on every single block. And we were coming in as a young couple, Ryan and I, and it was a seller's market. So we were just like, we'll get anything, and we really wanted the neighborhood. So we bought almost sight unseen. We visited it once.
Wow.
We were living there. And one fine day, we open up, it's first spring there, you open up the door, and I said, what is that smell? It's a slaughterhouse down the street. And anybody who's watching from the neighborhood knows this was a 100-year-old abattoir in downtown Toronto that predates all of the condos there. So guess what? When we were getting ready to sell, I said, oh my God, what are we gonna do about the slaughterhouse? Nobody's gonna buy. And it was definitely a buyer's market. There was not a lot of action. There were not a lot of buyers out there. So sorry, whoever bought my condo, but we said you can only come and visit and do viewings during a very small window of the day.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. I know it sounds nasty, but also when they were in full production, it wasn't just smell. You could hear the little piggies.
Oh, God.
It's so bad.
Oh
but I
my
needed to
gosh.
sell. I'm sorry, I needed to sell my house. I'm
Just to save you, it's gone now, right? So whomever bought the
So
condo,
see, that goes back to your point.
exactly. Things change. The neighborhood's changed. That abattoir is gone now.
Abattoir is gone.
So it's all fine. It all worked out, guys. It all worked out.
This is why I was vegetarian for so long. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, let's move on. We're gonna find out all the. Oh, what?
No. What's up next?
Transition. What's up
What's
next?
up next,
What's
Mel?
up next?
We're gonna talk about animals in the city. No, listen to me. I grew up at the Royal Winter Fair, which is in downtown Toronto, and this is a beautiful family tradition, and it is back, guys. It has been here for 104 years. And if you want to meet a very cute animal, hold on to your seats. One of the cutest guests I can say that we've ever had on the show joins us next. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Celebrating its 103rd anniversary, the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair is back, bringing the country to the city for its biggest and best year yet.
Oh, I aged up. I said 104. It's 103.
There you go.
Well, in case you don't know, it is the largest indoor combined agricultural and equestrian show in the entire world. And here to tell us more about this year's event is the Royals' official spokesperson, Katie Brown. Welcome back, Katie.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I'm so excited. Doors open tomorrow.
Doors open tomorrow. Every time the Royal comes around, I get really nostalgic. I spent 15 years of my childhood every single year performing at the Royal Winter Fair, a very special place in my family's heart. But this year and every year, there's always something new. So what can we look forward to this year?
Well, for the foodies, the chef's table is back. We have some of Toronto's top chefs in there. I know you attended last year and had some incredible meal with Chef Michael Bonaccini.
It was a very elevated, fancy experience, yeah.
It's amazing. And then you moved over to the horse show. So this weekend is the opening of the Royal Horse Show. We have the indoor eventing, which features Olympic-level riders and their Olympic-level horses competing inside the Coca-Cola Coliseum. You're on the edge of your seat, holding your breath that they get over these amazing obstacles. We also have Shetland pony races, which is wild and so fun.
Yes.
And I'm so excited I get to announce for the very first time that we are having the Budweiser Clydesdales open the Royal Horse Show Friday and Saturday night.
Wow.
Okay, every year the fair names a royal ambassador, and we've actually had the privilege of having a number of them on the social, including Kay the sheep, which we're looking at now, and alpacas, Dawson and Pacey. We met them last year. They were adorable. So who is 2025's royal ambassador?
Well, she's quite the little lady. Her name is Rosie. She's a miniature donkey, and she has all the swagger. Did you want to meet her? She's
Yes,
here.
we do.
Let's go meet her. Go ahead, Sid. Oh, hi, Rosie.
Oh my
Can
goodness.
you turn Rosie sideways a little bit?
I mean, we're working on
she's got a cute bum, but
Zuri is Rosie's handler, and Zuri, I understand that you've known Rosie since she was just a little baby girl. Tell us a little bit about her.
So Rosie was actually born on my farm in North Oshawa. So So I've known her since she's just a little thing, not even a few hours old. So yeah, she was born in the middle of a rainstorm, and I had to carry her to the barn. She was,
my gosh!
She was so little, she could fit in my lap.
Too.
Yeah, we both were pretty babies then.
Well, tell us more about her role on the farm where you live.
So on our farm, she and my other mini donkeys, they protect our sheep and our chickens from predators.
This way, come, Rosie. Can we bring her over here a little bit?
By going around the outside of her perimeter.
Come on.
Oh my goodness. What's her personality like? Is she a happy miniature dog?
She doesn't look very happy, but I promise you she's the most affectionate, cheeky,
hungry,
clearly starving little girl that I have.
Yeah, does Rosie ever have to fend off predators?
Yeah, that's what she does on a daily basis, and she's really good at it.
What are the predators?
Yeah, what are the predators?
There's coyotes, there's foxes.
Come on.
There's raccoons.
Oh, look at her go!
Yes, she will charge at them. She's small, but she definitely is mighty.
Oh my
gosh, I'm
I
obsessed.
cannot.
Well, listen, Rosie holds a special place in royal history as the first donkey ever to serve as an official ambassador. What made her stand out?
Well, basically, we've never had even a donkey competition. So we need to celebrate the unsung heroes of livestock, which is the donkeys, because they're companions, they're protection for predators. And so, and they're very, very intelligent. So she is our very first miniature donkey. She's gonna be on display at the fair. She has her own photo booth where she'll be posing for pictures.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask. Like, what is her official role besides being cute?
Yeah.
Yes. On top of that, she is going to be part of the ribbon cutting. If there's any special guests, she welcomes them to the fair. She poses for pictures. She's there to learn about miniature donkeys. You can pet her. And she also has a merch line in the royal paddock. Yes, she does. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I do want to ask about her beauty routine in just a second, but she's showing us a little bit about what people maybe don't know about donkeys, which is, am I right, Zuri? They are very stubborn.
So they're actually not very stubborn.
They're not.
They're incredibly intelligent, which comes off as the stubbornness.
Because they're smart.
She's misunderstood. She's misunderstood.
Very misunderstood. So instead of reacting first, that stubbornness comes from she's looking in, she's taking in everything around her surroundings and processing it through before she makes a decision.
I love that reframe.
So impressed.
Very feminist. I love it. So let's talk about her beauty routine, because she looks flawless. So what are you doing to keep her so gorgeous during the fair?
Face masks, of course.
So her royal prep begins with a dirt bath, because that's her favorite thing to do. And then I give her an actual bath. We gave her a nice haircut, except we left the bangs. They're all natural.
Oh my gosh!
And she got her toes done yesterday morning. So she's all prepared and ready to go.
Amazing.
With this new title, has she had any new diva energy?
Yeah.
We're seeing
Maybe
it.
right now.
Yeah, we're seeing it right now.
Diva, that's the word. Not stubborn. She's a diva.
Yeah, very big
She
diva.
wants.
Oh
okay, so where can people find her if they would like to see Rosie at the Royal?
So she is located in the holiday market, where we have a beautiful little setup similar to this, where you can have your pictures taken with her. She has an ambassador stall in the small animal pavilion, and she'll be popping by the royal paddock to check out her merch as well.
Love it.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Thank you all so much for being here today. This has been so nice.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for welcoming us.
And the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair will return to Toronto's Exhibition Place from November 7th to 16th. Get your tickets at royalfair.org.
And to the audience, listen to this. Our friends at the Royal want to make sure you check out the fair, so they're sending each of you home with a pair of tickets. Now, don't go anywhere, because musician Alan Doyle is here next.
Well, our next guest is one of Canada's most beloved Newfoundlanders, and his book, The Smiling Land, All Around the Circle in My Newfoundland and Labrador, gives an insider guide to the province with priceless tips like how and where to secure the best fish and chips in the world, he says.
information, so here to tell us more about it and give us the scoop on his upcoming North American tour, singer-songwriter. Welcome back to the show, Alan Doyle.
Always fun to be here. You never know, I gotta tell you, thank you. You never know what you're going to be doing when you come on the Social. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. I came on some, and here we are today.
Here we are.
And I'm so glad I got to meet Rosie the donkey back. I've done shows with Sting. I've been in movies with Ridley Scott and Russell. That was one of the coolest stars I ever met in my life.
Listen, we're so glad that
awesome.
both you and Rosie are here today. And we know that you're a working musician living in St. John's, which means you fly 120 times a year to get to your gigs.
That's too many.
Have you ever considered moving just to make the commute a bit shorter?
You know, it's funny, when Great Big Sea started in the early 1990s, that was sort of the first thing we discussed. Is like, well, we can't stay out here and be a band for a living, can we? And we said, I think we might be able to. And it was hard, especially in the beginning, but we stuck it out, and I'm so glad we did, because I've only really ever permanently sort of lived in St. John's, Newfoundland. I moved from Petty Harbour, my little fishing town, to St. John's when I was 18, when I went to university. And I've lived in St. John's ever since. But I have to say, I've just completed my first temporary residence of Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be regularly here then.
I've been here. I've been here for 2 months doing a musical, and like I've been here loads of times, of course. But I've fallen in love with like a temporary little residence in Toronto. I've loved it, walked all over the city, and I must say I've discovered a whole new city that I've fallen in love with. I really have. I've loved it. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, let's
Really
dive
loved
into the book. You make two very controversial statements in one of the chapters. St. John's has the best fish and chips in the world, and two, Quebecers are wrong about poutine having the best fries and topping combo. So, care to elaborate or amend these statements, sir?
There's nothing else to say. I'm sorry. These are not opinions. These are facts. And it's like, you know, with regards to best fish and chips in the world, I mean, that just goes without saying. I mean, there's no one even close, you know? And people from, you know, especially in the UK, they get their back up about that pretty quick, you know, in Scotland. It's not even what we're talking about. The poutine versus chips, dressing, and gravy phenomenon is probably worth debating, arguably, you know, but like, and the last thing Canada needs is, you know, Johnny Newfoundlander here, starting up another racket between Newfoundland and Quebec. That's the last thing.
Smart.
We're just starting to get along again. But, you know, I'm just telling you, like, I encourage a taste test of, like, you know, gravy and cheese curds versus gravy and, like, turkey dressing and stuff. It's pretty fantastic.
Okay. All right. I still do want to stick with fish and chips just for one more second, because back when Petty Harbour started to dip its toe into food delivery services, there were some major roadblocks, but you actually hacked the system, securing not only fish and chips, but also saving a few dollars. Can you tell us?
That was just smarts. Petty Harbour is about, you know, 25 kilometers or so from St. John's. And when I was 17 or 18, you know, we started going to the, you know, sneaking into the clubs in St. John's and stuff downtown. You know, it was like we would often hitchhike out and we'd try to, or get a ride out with someone, but then you'd throw yourself into the evening, you know, as you would on George Street and the like. And then you'd have to try to figure out how you're going to get back. And we would always, a taxi from St. John's back to Petty Harbour was like 20 bucks. And it was like, that was a lot, you know, back in the day. And so we, myself and my friend, who I think I call him Freddie in the book, which was great because that's not his name, but I was with him 2 nights ago, if anyone wants to check Instagram. And they started doing food delivery from this takeout in St. John's. And they would deliver, for $5, they would deliver food to Petty Harbour. So a fish and chips at the time was around $6 or $7 to get a fish and chips. So we figured out we can get a taxi to Petty Harbour for 20 bucks, or we can get 2 fish and chips and a $5 delivery fee to Petty Harbour if we can manage to weasel our way into that car when it leaves the delivery place.
Oh, my God.
Love it.
So we did. We only got away with it 3 or 4 times. But it was just like, this military precision to convince the guy who's leaving the fish and chips place, look, man, you can bring those fish and chips out to Petty Harbour if you want, but there's nobody going to be there. It's like, you know, who's the winner here? Who's the winner? You know, you can let us in and everybody's happy. You know, like.
Alan, we want to play a good game with you because Newfoundland is a special place for so many reasons, including its maybe unusual place names.
Yeah.
So let's start with
just
a little few. Let's start with, I know this is a real place, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dildo.
Fabulous place.
For a moment. Let's just talk about it. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's more fun than you think.
Oh, we know.
Okay, I got another one. I got another one for you.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just west of Dildo is Spread Eagle.
Yeah.
Have you ever been here?
Of course. Yeah. And when those two towns get together.
It becomes Conception Bay, which is
Another place.
Have you been to Conception Bay?
Oh my God, yes, yeah. Like CBS all over the place. I mean, I always like to say, if you want to know anything about, you know, myself, you know, like how come you're kind of foolish or what have you, silly or whatever. It's like I'm from a place where Dildo was across from Spread Eagle, and look it up. You couldn't make it up. Like you couldn't make. I mean, yeah. There's a few other doozies, you know.
Well, yeah,
like,
I think.
You have more?
We got one. Have you ever spent time in Blow Me Down Provincial Park?
Oh. Blow Me Down Park. Oh, it's over by Corner Brook. Yeah, over on the west coast.
Yeah. It's a good Walmart.
Yeah, Blow Me Down's a pretty good one. There's just a few. Like, Come By Chance is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a real good one.
That's good.
Yeah, that's real good.
Listen, we only have like just over a minute left, and we want to talk about this because
We want to move the conversation on.
Forward.
Alan?
For the record, and for the benefit of your studio and at home, you guys started it.
I know. It's fair. It is fair. It's fair. Okay. Alan, you have a North American tour coming up next year with 4 back-to-back nights in Halifax.
Yeah.
We want to know, I mean, this is amazing, but what is on Alan Doyle's rider?
Oh,
wow.
You know what? Years ago, with me and the GBS boys when we were young and you know, in our 20s, it used to be kind of rock and roll, you know. We'd have like, you know, beer and like bottles of this, that, and the other thing, and like kind of like what we thought was supposed to be on rock and roll riders, you know. And now, of course, like I'm 56 now. What's on it now? Like sparkling water, you know, RX protein bars. Yeah. Only freshly squeezed orange juice and like soft pillows and, like, and Advil, stuff like that. That's it. Like. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we hope you enjoy the tour, the protein bars, the sparkling water. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The Smiling Land is available now. In studio audience, you're all going home with your own And be sure to grab tickets to see Alan Doyle on tour at alandoyle.ca. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There's never a dull moment at The Social.
We are going to have one heck of a time.
With hot takes and fiery debates.
I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio anyway.
We dive headfirst into juicy conversations.
Where are his wild oats now?
No topic is too messy.
I'm gonna blame all of the boyfriends that I've had.
No discussion too heated.
That is an invasion, in my opinion.
Just real talk and fresh opinions. Watch The Social, weekdays at 2 p.m. on CTV.
All right, on tomorrow's episode of The Social, Erica Work is back walking us through nature-inspired fashion trend that is hidden everywhere. And did you know that some of us have a gene mutation that allows us to function on less sleep than everyone else?
Whoa!
Okay, we have neuroscientist Sarah Baldeo. She's going to break this down for us. Here's the thing. I think more people think they have it than actually have it.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't.
the problem, right?
I don't have it.
I don't have it either. No.
Yeah, I don't have it either. And you know what? I don't want it.
No.
No, but I want to learn about it.
I want to learn about it. Yeah, that's on tomorrow's show. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.